You want to tell them what you're doing today?
I am trying to figure out how to rewire the front end of the camper here so we can add a couple of lithium batteries in preparation for eventually getting an inverter and solar power.
Right, we already have one solar panel up there, but we want to add.
It's got a 200 watt solar panel that came from the factory, and it's got a PWM controller that powers this battery. So
Which is just a regular 12-volt battery.
AGM battery, right?
Right, there you go.
So we like to get rid of that battery altogether.
Right.
And then put these two batteries here.
We have a little bit of a mess right now at our campsite.
We have two 12-volt, 280 amp hour eco-worthy batteries. I built a battery tray.
Show you the battery tray here. It's right there.
That's where I like to keep it. Room here to put a couple of totes.
We always put our sewer
Tote.
stuff there and water so that it's easy to grab when we're setting up or dumping.
Right. So we like to
Keep those there, and then the other ones can move over.
Yeah,
but we would like to keep the lithium batteries in the storage.
inside here and not on the tongue.
Right.
The tongue we'd like to use for a toolbox.
Yep. We have a toolbox, a new toolbox to stick there too.
Right. We already have the toolbox.
Yep.
So right now, you have, see those two blue and white wires?
These two right here.
One of them goes to the battery. That's the thin white wire.
Yep.
So it needs to go inside now. So it needs to be fed back up inside the camper to where the batteries are going to be. This red wire here
Yep.
goes to the battery, and the white wire just needs to be fed inside too. The red wire goes to an on and off switch, which they've already punctured a hole in the underbelly to run it across to the other side, but that needs to be inside now, the on and off switch. So I got to figure out which side of that is hot, which side just goes to this bus bar here, and that can be taken off.
Right. There's a bus bar right here.
It's a junction point, yeah.
That's that one right there, right?
Mm-hmm. So half of it needs to be taken off, half of it needs to go inside.
Okay, so to recap what he said was the white ones go to the battery. They got to be put inside here. The red one goes also to that switch, right?
Right,
The
this
on
is the
and off
switch, on and off switch.
And it needs to also be put in here.
Right.
So that's what he's figuring out now. After he figures it out, we'll show you what he did.
And the problem is that the underbelly goes to about right here. And then from here they have the spot about 4 inches wide where there is no underbelly, the perforated plastic underbelly material. Yeah. It's just the paper underbelly, you know, so because the frame ends there. So there's a frame that ends right here. And they've extended this camper past the frame by about 8 inches out here. The 4 inches of it, as it curves down, there is a spot there where they've run that wire. Okay, we're under the camper. This is the front of the camper out here. And as you travel back towards the back of the camper, you have the frame of the actual body of the camper is right here, but the frame underneath here starts about, you have about a 2-inch gap here between the two where they've just got this paper, and then you have the frame here that begins on this point. So this gap right here is where they've run the solar wire to charge the batteries. Now it comes from the side here. There's a side port where you can actually plug in a portable solar panel, and that's the wire that goes to the battery. It doesn't go through the MPPT or the PWM controller at all, but it goes to the battery. So that white wire here, it goes right to the battery, if you follow it back, it goes to this outside place where you can plug in a solar panel. So I got to get that inside the pass-through, that wire. I have to get the hot wire from the on and off switch into the pass-through so we can relocate the on and off switch. We don't want it outside again. And I need the 2 wires that go to the battery here. They need to go inside to the new batteries. But there's a gap. You can see the gap here. You get a 2-inch gap between the frame, which is here, and the body of the camper. Now, so you can fold it back like this. Which I may have to just go right through that. It's a possibility. Or do I want to relocate it back here to where this underbelly material is and perforate the hole there? If I do that, my batteries are kind of in the way, or I'd have to go to the side, which I really don't want to do. I want it between. So the best place for me is right up through here. Makes it a little bit difficult, but it's not going to be that awful bad. So when I run, but when I do that, I guess that'll be okay for the two wires. Yeah, it's going to have to do. And that basically is going to give me one less hole in the underbelly over there, because I'm going to run it inside the underbelly and up. Okay, we got the batteries installed here, and for me to get underneath the camper into the belly, actual belly of the camper, I had to actually drill the hole where the wires go down through about, looks like about 7 or 8 inches away from the front of the camper itself, which I didn't want to do. I only wanted about a couple inches in there, but if I did that, the way this camper is curved in the front, I would have been outside here somewhere, which I couldn't have. So for me to be straight in, I had to, and in the belly, I had to actually be right there. That was as close as I could get to it. So what I may end up doing is rebuilding this battery box so that there's space between the 2 batteries, and then I can put a hole down between the 2 of them that goes down underneath to the belly, and that'll give me more room back here to store things, which would be really nice. I can get another tote in there if that's the case. So that may be something we do in the future. But as you can see, the wires that went out to the battery on the tongue have now been relocated up here to this battery bank, and they're charging. But another problem we're having right now is our WFCO converter is only charging it at 5 amps, which is, we have a 50 amp converter, and I'm not really sure why it's charging at such a low rate. I got 2 calls, and it helped us take it into WFCO to find out if they'll, give me a hand and tell me what's going on. But from reading the reviews and comments on YouTube, they don't seem to be ones to answer their phones too much. So we'll see. It doesn't matter too much. I'm only using that converter until I get my Victron converter installed myself. So anyway, these are here for right now. They may move shortly forward. I like to move them forward if I could, to give me more room behind the batteries. So we'll see. But it seems to be working really good right now. I mean, I got them plugged in. They're charging. It's been charging now for almost a complete day, and they're about 60%. So it's not too bad. And now that we have the battery relocated inside the passageway, I have this space on the tongue. I'm going to put my toolbox that I use for all of my setup equipment, like the blocks, the chocks, wheel chocks, and the equipment used to hook up the weight distribution hitch. So all that's going to go inside this toolbox, which I got at Harbor Freight, and I'm just going to screw it down to the tongue of my camper here in the front. Gives me just enough room in there. I can get a key in if I ever want to lock it, but it just barely fits. I think I can get 2 screws on each side, so which will be enough to hold it down. And it makes for a nice place to store all your stuff you use for setting up.
Thank you for watching this video of installing the lithium batteries. We are going to do a solar series. Isn't that what you would call it, Jim?
Kind of series, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not going to do it every single video. So this week you'll see the battery installation, and then next week you'll see us going on a trip. We did take a small trip to Sebastian Inlet, and then there'll be another, which I think the next solar part of the solar series will be the inverter, installing the inverter. But there's multiple things that we're going to do to upgrade this camper. So we do have one solar panel up on the roof.
Right.
And we've purchased 3 more additional solar panels that will be put up there. But we need to change our inverter. We got to add a new MPPT.
Right.
A big bus bar. There's all kinds of stuff that we're going to do on the solar. So I am going to make another section that if you go out to the videos where it says Winnebago, I think that's what it says, Winnebago. There's also going to be Winnebago Solar, which will be different than our Apex Solar series. So, but thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed our just quick little video of us putting the batteries in the camper. And they are working fantastic. We have had no problems with them, and we've had them in for almost a year.
Yeah.
So
they're ones that Will Prowse recommends.
Yep. So thanks again for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day.